Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Startup Central right here on ET Now with me, Sumita. Kareer. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll be taking you through the top startup stories that we're tracking right here on the show, along with some interesting discussions that we have lined up as well. But before we go on to all of those content pieces, let's take you quickly through the top headlines we're tracking here on Startup Central. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start by putting the focus on Deloitte, which has come out with a report on technology trends for the coming year. In fact, the focus of the report is around how AI is becoming the foundation of nearly every emerging technological trend. AI acts as the backbone, enabling and accelerating breakthroughs across various industries. And to take us through the report and the key contents of that report, I'm now joined by Abhrajit Ray, who's a partner and CIO program leader at Deloitte India. Thank you very much, Mr. Ray, for joining us here on ET Now.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. So in terms of what we're talking about,
Mr. Ray, I went through the report and a lot of it is actually focused on, AI. So do take us through the key takeaways of that report first, and then we'll talk about AI in specifics.
When we were actually researching around different topics, it actually dawned on us that everything that we are looking at across the technology trend, everything is kind of driven by AI. So what we are thinking is AI is almost become ubiquitous. It's almost like becoming electricity, World Wide Web, cloud, and all that. So at least what we feel is that less and less people will say that this is a AI-driven solution. It's almost like it is given that everything will be AI. So in future, you will hear less about this is an AI-driven travel booking system, or this is an AI-driven learning system. Everything will be AI-driven. That's almost like AI from being an actor on stage. AI will become almost like the stage supporting the actor. So from focus to foundation, that's kind of the biggest takeaway. And in terms of 6 areas that we see the main changes that will happen. First one, we are calling it spatial computing, where we are saying that we are slowly moving into a post-screen computing world. So essentially, there will be a huge kind of focus on merging physical and digital. So how we can actually create digital twin of road networks, railways, airports, and all that. So that's the kind of promise of spatial. In terms of what's next in AI, we will see very, very context-specific AI. So people will move towards small language models, agenting, and others. Hardware is making a strategic comeback. We always kind of last 15 years, Mark Andreessen famously saying that software is eating the world. Actually, now we are seeing that hardware is making a comeback. The next part is the biggest kind of renaissance that we are seeing is within IT. So IT has started experimenting in the last 2, 3 years, and they're saying that, okay, can we make our lives easier? So developers using a lot of AI to kind of develop code and others. Same with software operations, training, and all that. So IT is really almost like IT is supercharged. The next one is very, very foundational, and that I think we need to get ready as we call it Y2Q. So quantum computing. Quantum, it was almost like a physics problem in the past. Now it's actually an engineering problem. Sooner or later, we will see a commercially available quantum computer. And the biggest threat that we see is in the cybersecurity. So we really urge governments, institutions, others to get quantum ready. And the last thing is tech leaders, they always say that we can do a lot of interesting stuff, provided we get time from modernizing our core software, the ERPs of the world, which runs large enterprise. What we are seeing is that software OEMs, they're really baking agentic and AI into their core software. So even kind of legacy modernization, which takes bulk of the time, people will get a lot more efficient using low code, no code, and AI to kind of transform. So what it really means is it unlocks bandwidth to do a lot of innovative stuff. So these are the 6 big rocks. In summary, AI will become foundation. And the last thing is true innovation will happen when we actually connect the dots. So we are saying that depth, or actually the breadth, is the new depth. So more we can actually connect all these new trends together to drive solutions for our customers is what will actually drive the innovation. Back to you.
Right, sir. But, now AI is being deployed by companies, and you've also spoken about that, and is being picked up by many companies, for instance, for creating chatbots, assistants on emails. But where are most of the monies or investments going, and what specific asks do companies have with respect to AI?
Okay. The funny thing is, if you ask all the leaders, they want to do all the cool stuff in AI, whether it's Gen AI, agentic, and all that. 3/4 of our customers, they're saying that our biggest problem is actually not AI. Only if I can solve my data quality problem. So actually, AI needs good quality of data. And we used to say that previously garbage in is garbage out. Now in the AI world, it's garbage in and garbage squared out. So data quality is where a lot of money will be going in to solve the data. So that's one thing. And then in terms of use cases, a lot of use cases where we are seeing is rather than using large language model, which gathered all the kind of press attention and everything, what we are seeing is that actually you don't need that power to solve your use cases. And the biggest use case is customer service. For a call center agent, you don't need a LLM. You actually need a smaller contextual model to solve their answers. In a healthcare situation, for summarization, you don't need a large model. So what we are seeing is tends towards small language models, even tiny language models. So limited scope in Gen AI is actually a feature and not a bug. So that is where we are seeing a lot of kind of investments. Agent is the new kind of crown jewel, where we believe that the fundamental part of agents is moving from singular AI to a network of AI agents. So typically, if a work needs to be done, let's say a back-end banking process, we can have an AI which can scan the document. We can have an AI to get the pricing model and all that. We can have an AI to get the risk analysis done. What we'll increasingly will see is that we will have a network of agents who are almost like negotiating with each other to complete the entire process. And that's where dramatic kind of improvements will happen in process. And this is true for both Indian organization as well as a lot of GCCs in this area. So it's a very exciting area, but now customers are saying that since AI, especially some of the unique models, it's so strategic. Can I run those models on premise. So it's in a very strange way. They're saying that, can I move some of those things from, let's say, a public cloud to on premise? And that's where GPUs, NPUs, and specific hardware is making a comeback.
Right, sir, but how do you see monies getting deployed in AI and ROI that companies will get, given that ROI is something that companies will start looking at sooner or later? So what kind of monies or investments do you see going into AI, and which sectors are going to be pumping in the most investments into AI, into this new technology?
It's actually across sector, and and we are just getting started. So there are sectors like banking, telecom, they are actually tech companies. So there will be a lot of investments, and that is going on. But where we are seeing in sectors in public service, PSUs, government departments who are managing massive infrastructure, humongous amount of money is getting pumped in to make sure that customer service improves. I'll give you an example. Let's say a metro rail or a railways organization. For them, safety is very, very important. Given the vast infrastructure of our country, it's physically impossible to check the kind of integrity of all the railway lines, all the rolling stocks, the signaling systems, and all those things. So now where we are seeing that agencies who run these infrastructure, they're using the camera that was already there for safety purposes. So with that, Vision AI, they're capturing the image, and now we have got access to so much computing. We are creating a digital model of that physical infrastructure. And then with that, if we are seeing, let's say, a signaling line has got a problem, or even the overhead traction has got a problem, then immediately signals gets driven to command control center, and then teams are sent to fix that problem. So AI is actually now, people are not making a AI investment. People are saying that, okay, with AI, can I kind of improve customer service? So those are the areas, and the biggest investment is actually not in AI. You have to create the infrastructure that can capture the data. You have to create the infrastructure that can assess the data. So AI is almost like a reason to kind of transform various industries, whether it's healthcare, defense, infrastructure, oil and
Absolutely.
gas. So it's across the sector. Yes, over to you, Sumita.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Ray, but your report mentions that the sectors that have been massively transformed by AI or will or do have the potential to be transformed is healthcare, education, logistics, and government. What kind of a transformation will AI bring into these sectors, given the fact that DPI has been such a huge success? Can AI be built along the lines of DPI? Something that remains to be seen. But on that note, thank you very much for joining.